Okay, and welcome to FlexiTime Championships quarter-final. Straight away, ASSBAG's pushing really hard against the OKW player, Giap. The Kubal's going to have to redirect, so we've got OKW in the north versus Soviets in the south. So very interesting matchup. It's not often we get so much Soviets in a tournament series. It really seems that ASSBAG favours the Soviets over the Americans. Of course, he didn't quite get the victory in his first game on Angervilla's Soviets against his American opponent then. But it seems like his USF play on Angerville pushed Giap into an early GG. So much so, it sent me as a caster into a nervous frenzy of not knowing what happened, because obviously the chat of the players does not come up yet in live obs, which is really frustrating because it kind of shows you don't know what's going on, because usually it's GG called that tells you what's going on. We've got the truck trying to push the conscripts away, the Kubel all the while putting suppressive fire down, and of course with the Stern Pioneers, the glass cannon uber DBS dealers coming in. They're going to really push themselves away. In terms of doctrines available, we've got conscript support tactics, counter-attack and mechanized support. We saw counter-attack in the first game with the KV-1. For OKW, there's not that many doctrines to talk about really, but Luftwaffe is probably the most popular, along with Scavenger. So he does have Luftwaffe available to him. So Arnhem Checkpoint, people say that this is an Allied favoured map. I actually quite like Arnhem Checkpoint. I think with something like Elite Rifles, or Rifle Company rather, it can be, quite Allied favoured in that circumstance. But, that's Rifle Company for you. Neither player seems to have that doctrine, thankfully. Kubel coming in here, going to put some suppressive fire on the conscripts, which are getting sandwiched between Volksgrenadiers. They're going to die! Oh, not that great play from ASSBAG if he loses them, because it's directional covering company heroes. In the backs of the conscripts are facing a Kubel and a full health Volksgrenadier. In the west we've got Stern Pioneers and an engagement in green cover engagement. That's what I like to call a very poised engagement indeed, because not much is happening right now. No, the Stern Pioneers indeed are going to try and go for the kill. They're darting in and out of cover trying to get closer so their DPS works for them. Kubel redirecting to the west. But yeah, that was a really early GG from Giap. It really threw us off in that first game, threw us off the scent. Battle Group Headquarters really close to base for Giap. He's not taking any chances against his opponent. He obviously been 1-1 in a best-of-5 series. He, it's going to be very interesting to see how both players start to play now. And indeed, you're starting to see a little bit of reserved play from Giap. Interestingly, he's gone for OKW. Obviously, went as Wehrmacht in the first game with a high degree of success. MG34 heavy machine guns now available. Indeed, we see the first one of the doctrine coming in. I did call that. It is most commonly that you see Luftwaffe, especially on a map such as this one, because a cheeky Fallschirmjäger behind enemy lines can be the difference between a wipe or no wipe. Very advanced Stern Pioneer play there. They are going to come up against a combat engineer with the flamethrower. Conscripts capping up the east. We've got OKW with a high degree of map control on Arnhem. It's usual that you'll see the Allied player just go straight for the cut-offs on this map against OKW, but it seems that Giap is more than holding his own. It was his expert Kubel play that I believe kept him in the game. Obviously with that conscript wipe as well, he's got a material advantage for now. Incendiary grenade goes in. Quite a bit of munition spent there. In the east we now see that in fact it's going to get flanked. We don't see Molotovs though, so it's not in any imminent danger if it packs up and gets out of there. He's probably going to retreat it, hard retreat it though, because there's no way he knows that at this point. Stern Pioneers possibly going down. They're going to have to retreat through a hail of fire. Don't quite get the kill off though. That would have been a big pickup for ASSBAG if he'd managed it. So we didn't see the MG34 take a full retreat off the map. However, Volksgrenadiers have now taken advantage of the lack of capping power from ASSBAG and taken his cut-off away from him. Combat engineers proving their worth, trying to set the church on fire. It seems that ASSBAG is an atheist. He is a Russian player, so communists at this point, of course, had a big policy of atheism. They actually bring back the Russian Orthodox Church for World War II alone, though, just to like try and pick people's morale up. It's like, hey, you can have religion again. Here you go, and now kill yourselves in war. Oh god, the Volksgrenadier is possibly going down again. These combat engineers have been absolute swag, ruffle stomping, lol. 7. Can't believe I just said that. It was pathetic. I don't know what I wanted to say, but anyway, we've got Fallschirmjägers now taking 2 kills off them, seemingly. God, the conscripts got a headshot off on the Fallschirmjägers. That's a lot of manpower extinguished there. Now, in terms of the map, it seems that most of the south is in the Soviets' possession, but obviously he did have his cutoff taken away from him for some portion of the map. I have yet to see Giap's cutoff taken. However, again, this is pretty much a reversal of the first game. ASSBAG has had a lot of victory point control. It must be said that Giap has kept himself fresh for this G3, didn't keep fighting what could have been a lost cause after he had a large degree of material taken away from him. Especially when that rifle retreated through the S-mine that Bullock thankfully saw whilst watching. Again, we've got another Volksgrenadier pushing down to the east here. You've got Fallschirmjägers putting these conscripts under heavy fire, all nicely lined up in a line trying to fire through a block of concrete there, it seems. Volksgrenadiers taking advantage of directional cover. They're going to put some shots in on the side. All the while, we've got these conscripts under fire from the Stern Pioneers. Fallschirmjägers, no kills as of yet. They are putting a lot of DPS down, though. That's shown by their 2/3 of the first pip of veterancy achieved. Conscripts again getting a shot off on the Fallschirmjägers. They're finally going to have to retreat. They were in battle for a long time, it must be said. There is no advantage to hitting hit the dirt behind green cover, because hit the dirt is omnidirectional green cover wherever you want it. That is the advantage of it. Now let's give us time to talk about the conscript support tactics. It does have rapid conscription. It does have some other elements to it that make for interesting watching, because it's not shock rifle front line tactics basically, because you always see that and we're not seeing it here. So it's very interesting to see in a highly competitive quarter-final game in a long-standing tournament. The great thing about this tournament, if I'm to toot my own horn, is the players have now been playing for, I think, either 4 or 5 weeks. Which is a long time to be playing a tournament. So they've got a large degree of themselves invested in this game. You have got scrubs like Momo for show that say things like, I don't want to play, so I give you the bye. You've got scrubs like that, but you've got absolute gladiators like this that have come to this point in the game and are absolutely just smashing against each other in a titanic contest, and it just makes for excellent watching. And people say this game's a broken game, it's not fun to watch, it's not fun to play. That's not what I'm seeing in this series. I'm seeing a game that's maturing. I'm seeing nobody's playing elite rifle company. I'm seeing that, you know, Axis are doing really well. You've got 2 very highly ranked players, 2 very good tournament level players, and they're using pretty much everything at their disposal to try and get the win. And it's fantastic watching. So that's just a little meta rant from me, but I'll get back to casting the game now. Stern Pioneers putting decent DPS down on the conscripts. They're going to have to get out of that building very shortly. In the west, you've got Fallschirmjägers, still with no kills Fallschirmjägers, possibly going to rectify that now against conscripts retreating on red cover. T-70 makes its entrance. 2 kills almost immediately, pushing away a Volksgrenadier there. Volksgrenadier retreats with 2 men remaining. Kubal's been utterly, obviously impotent past about the 8-minute mark, it seems. It's not done much at all. Do have a Rakettenwerfer as a backup plan, and it shows its worth. Getting a shot on the T-70. The T-70 is now going to go for the kite. It does indeed get 1 model. We got the Panzerschreck in covering fire, though. Oh, great last shot off on the Raketten. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens between this Volksgrenadier and the Flamer engineer there. He's got very closely, he's got the MG34 if it worst comes to worst. However, he's pushing him away. Is he going to go for a sneaky steal of the Raketten there? In the west, we've got an engagement between the Fallschirmjägers in their house. He's not going to go for it. He's lost 1 man. 1 man was enough to prevent that. And we just indeed, we've got a shoe mine there. Let's keep an eye on that for later. Oh, he's going to get the steal with the conscripts, though. There's not much that they can do about it. We have got the retreat past the shoe mine. Very good. Schwerpanzer headquarters setting up. It's been targeted by the T-70. We've got other fire from the Maxim as well opening up on it. Schwer's already down to 30% health. This could be a killing blow from ASSBAG on Giap. This is a lot of... He does indeed just cancel it. But he's lost. That is a major loss for Giap. He's going to have to wait for the next truck to come out. He spots the Kubel that's been just keeping the cut off. PPSH is not often you see that in play. It is a good map for them. We've also got rapid conscription in play. Could be seeing some extra conscripts coming onto the field very shortly. We've got GG called in the chat. Very presumptuous, I must say. So that let me say who said GG. We've got Massacre Muska, Swag Squadron, Woofya, and Tume94 is calling Team ASSBAG. So, and we've also got Kubelikar calling GG. Now, let me just bring these guys up onto the chat, because if this isn't GG, I think these guys get to eat some pie later, some humble pie of the sour grapes variety, if Giap, proves his long-standing tournament pedigree and gives the upset. T-70 pushing in, 6 kills. It's been a pretty damn... It's already got nearly veterancy 2 already. That's what, killing a Schwerpanzer headquarters does for you. So the stolen Raketen is chilling in the rear. We've got a new Raketen built. So we've had a stolen Raketen and a Schwerpanzer headquarters. This is allowing the PPSHs to push up. You've got to expect that this Soviet player does indeed take this game, but you never know. Anything can happen in Company of Heroes at times. Retreated conscripts there. It's very interesting to see just how many extra conscripts rapid conscripts managed to get. T-70 again proving its worth. In fact, it's showing a picture to Giap now. He did an early GG on Angerville, and he's having the game taken to him furiously. However, Schumann could get him back into the game, especially if we get a Faust from the Fallschirmjägers. They'll have to get out of the building for that. It's quite a dangerous tactic. They are going for the rear armor Faust. Oh, they get wiped! But Panzerschreck gets the kill, so he had to get the rear... Sorry, my voice. He had to get the rear armor shot with the Panzerfaust. He got wiped, and the Shrek got the kill. Sorry, I went into dolphin mode there. Ah, my larynx. Dear God. Let me cast in my deep voice for the rest of this game. Finally, we get the Schwerpanzer quarters with the blood camo coming onto the field. Maxim getting flanked, incendiary grenade possibly coming in. He got the T-70, but man, he paid for it with that Fallschirm. This combat engineer has been an absolute tour de force in this game, it must be said. Sorry, just bringing up my chat so I can read it in my second window. Vet 3 on the conscript, the combat engineer now. It's going to push away the Volksgrenadiers there. All the while, I've got the MG34. It is out of the cone of fire. Flames, more bad luck for Sturm Tiger Giap. Enemy flanking us. Is that the original Kubelwagen still? I can't believe the T-70 never got the kill on that thing. So he's got the Raketen sulking in the background because there's not much he can do at this point, and there's nothing to fire against. It's mostly an infantry cavalcade of infantry. We've got 5 conscript squads. We've got these new guys on the field, 0 kills. They are the product of munitions spent on rapid conscription. So he's converting munitions. There we go. The Kubel's been found out. Gonna have to retreat. A little bit capping with the Raketen because it's nothing it can do. It must be said, Giap's still got his fuel. The Kubel just about kept that for him. I wonder what the Soviet player's going to take. He's got rapid conscription engaged again. He's just hoping for his manpower cavalcade to snowball and just, hopefully push Giap entirely off the map and get the win that way, it seems. 2 mortars again. We saw this in the first game. The first one set up by the house there. Vet 3 combat engineer, MVP player on 10 kills, putting more pressure down on the MG34. That indeed is going to have to go straight back off the map. Didn't last a second. Fallschirmjäger's getting pressurised. This is indeed the second Fallschirmjäger squad that's been built. The first one bit the dust against the T-70 in very unfortunate circumstances. Kubel still rocking on the cut-off point. And we've got engagements on all fronts. I don't know how I can cast this. I wish I had my bloody strategic zoom cast enabled. Can only do that for replays, unfortunately, because it does require dev mode. And yeah, zooming out to capture more of them. I really hope Relic implements it. That is my long-term goal for those YouTube casts, is to prove to Relic that we need it in-game. Stern Pioneers coming in against the conscripts. Get a shot in through the windows of the church. Do get a model kill. Jagdpanzer coming out for Sturm Tiger Giap. It is 17 minutes into the game. However, it is a mid to late game unit, it must be said. So it is going to offer him a large degree of protection. Very good point from Yabusum. We will be using tap map when the engagements get a little bit more spread out in future. Great point. See, Fallschirmjäger's got pushed away there. The Jagdpanzer's making its presence there, and it possibly would be getting to keep it in the rear of the engagement. Oh, dear God! Great shot in there. Mortars really proving their worth. Incendiary grenade does get dodged by ASSBAG. ASSBAG has been absolutely dominating this game. He's really warmed up now. I claimed he had fatigue in that first game, but this player, although he might be getting wipes as I'm trying to big him up. Come on, ASSBAG, I'm trying to say what a good player you are. Conscripts have now found the Jagdpanzer 4, so he's aware that there is an anti-vehicle presence, but it doesn't look like he needs it. Look at that on the left of your screen. It's such a high degree of infantry capabilities. He's got a new, fresh combat engineer that's come onto the field thanks to the 120 munitions that's continually spent.
Support gun, ready for action.
The Liege ISG on the field now. Obviously, against so many conscripts, that is a force to be contended with. Look, it seems to me... Live your life like a candle in the wind. Seems to me that he's building T-34-76s. How interesting. I love this game. I love this matchup. This is one of the best matchups I've seen all year. It's just been so varied and so interesting to watch. Shame about the early GG in Game 2, which confused the hell out of me because I thought Relic had, like, banned my account or something. Fallschirmjäger's finally up to a pip of veterancy there. That is indeed the second Fallschirmjäger squad. All the while we've got conscripts trying to take the fuel. Again, Giap is able to keep his fuel, which has been really impressive on in this game, considering just how little he has. We've now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 conscripts! No, 1, 2, 3, 4... Can I count? 1, 3, 6, 7, 8. 8! Sorry, I had a mind spasm there and counted 2 extra conscripts. I think that's possibly due to my occupation as an accountant. When it's the weekend, I refuse to count properly. ISG opening up on the stolen Raketten. He's really angry he lost that thing. And there's just so much presence on the field from ASSBAG. It's amazing to me that for one, the Kubel's still alive, and for two, that Giap is able to keep so much of the game. Let's stay in tap map for a bit so we can try and collect ourselves. Here we go, the T-34-76 is now making its presence known. It is going up against this Shrek. He's scared of the Rakettenwerfer, if he's aware that it does indeed exist. Possibly just a little bit of foresight there, just guessing, you know, that there's a deterrent or a possible problem to it. He didn't want to push in. He just wants to very calmly and methodically keep his advantage in this game. Got an engagement in the west here. Seems that PPSHs are pushing away the Volksgrenadiers. Talking about PPSHs, it must be said that ASSBAG has not chosen to upgrade all of its squads, and that is not the Muzzin Nagant rifle does deal much better damage than the PPSHs from medium to medium long range. Obviously they're worthless long range, but that medium to medium long range kind of area, they're pretty damn good. So T-34 has done nothing but drive around the map. It seems that Boris, the driver, is a little bit drunk and is just going for a tour. Not done much quite yet. ISG showing its worth.
Crew ready for orders.
Two ISGs on the field. This new one is going to, possibly show that the October patch hasn't deterred OKW players from using ISGs to get them back into the game. Two ISGs open up. This conscript doesn't give a crap. It's obviously got its swag on. It's just sitting there in its green cover kind of mode. I think that's what we were saying. I'm not sure. What is the identifier for the hit the dirt? I think what happened then is the icon for rapid conscription was hiding it, if that makes any sense. Oh my Jesus Christ, was that what we just saw? Did that just happen? I've gone high pitched again, but I believe we just saw a combination of an ISG and a Shrek get a wipe on the squad. But oh my god, the mortar gets a wipe in turn on the Volks Grenadiers. It's an absolute killing match out there. People are dropping like flies, there's bodies everywhere, fatalities are climbing, the obituary is in the newspaper. Oh god, what's happening with my camera work? My camera work's going insane. Have I got it back under control? There we go. All the while in the west we've got a steady engagement with the Maxim coming into fire. But I can't believe those wipes. Just to confirm, we've got two wipes there. Conscript got wiped by a mixture of an ISG and a Shrek shot. And then the mortar came in and wiped the Volksgrenadier itself. The Shrek wasn't dropped, and now he's down to one Volksgrenadier in its entirety. Fallschirmjäger's just narrowly escaped this house. In the west, we've got the T-34-76, still on 0 kills. What a great unit. No, sorry, there's two of them now. Sorry, my bad. Both on 0 kills, though. Jagdpanzer IV hasn't actually met any T-34-76s quite yet. Kubelwagen still alive. How is this possible? And just look at Sturmtiger Giap's army. He's got such a pittance compared to what ASSBAG has. It's amazing to me that he's managed to stay in this game. And I think what has resulted in him having to do this is the fact that he early GG'd, well not early, but early to mid-game GG'd in the first game. About 10 minutes in, wasn't it, or something? So... oh, nice shot in from the ISG. So he's now going to have to try and get some kind of victory point control wrestled from ASSBAG. Obviously he's not completely out of this game, but with so many conscripts being on the field... is it 9 now? It's 9 conscripts now. We're getting close to the 10 when I originally counted it, and I counted it as 10. Maybe that prediction is becoming a reality. Yes! A T-34 has a kill! 2 kills! They were against the ISGs. Doesn't quite get any significant damage done. They're just going to get back to the Battle Group headquarters and get some repairs. To answer Commando in the chat, he's saying it's funny you see high-level players using something that was patched. It was not patched out of existence of the ISG and the pack out, so they're still very useful, especially when you've got the sentience to actually direct them. Obviously, they're not very good. They're still pretty damn good. They get pins after a couple of shots. And there you go. GG has been called. Thank you to Relic for not having the chat in the game. You did do a lot of work on the UI in 2014, so that was good of you. But you don't know it's GG until the tanks and stuff stop moving. But anyway, it was a fantastic game, and let's see. He got him down to 395 victory points, but in general, that was a fantastic strategy from ASSBAG, and what a tactician this guy's proving to be. Yeah, it was GG. How odd. But yeah, the reason that's anticlimactic and I don't go GG is because in Company Heroes 1 and before the UI and everything got messed around for Company Heroes 2, you could see the chat. So when the player called GG, which is obviously RTS conventions, you knew. In this game, it's just like, oh, everything stopped moving. My game's oh no, it's GG. And in the first game, it was 10 minutes in, and I really didn't think Giap had to GG at that point. So I assumed that Quinn Duffy personally had banned my account to spite me. And anyway, the score now, let's update the brackets. The score now is 2-0 to Mr. Bag of Ass against the tournament heavyweight Giap. So ASSBAG is proving himself to be, and to be honest, let's update the brackets in real time. That'll be fun. 2-1. It's the first of 3, so we could possibly seeing, if ASSBAG wins this game, obviously we'll be seeing Giap make an exit from tournament 1 versus 1 play, because he told me that his time of committing himself fully to tournaments may be coming to an end. Yes! Straight away. These players don't have any rest for the wicked. And because... No, I can't afford to do that. Should I make a quick coffee? I'm kind of running on adrenaline here. I'm going to try and make a quick coffee.